Greetings and welcome to part two of Senior Seminar. Part two of Senior Seminar is the academic update. So let's take a look at what you need in order to graduate from high school. Students need a minimum of 24 credits. Those credits should include 4 units of English, 4 units of math, including Algebra 1 and Geometry, 3 units of science. You must take biology as one of those courses, and one of the other courses must be a physical science. There are several options you have to complete that requirement. Social studies. Students must complete world history, U.S. history, and U.S. government and economics. Those courses generally are taught in the same year, one course in the fall, one course in the spring. Students must complete HOPE or another equivalent PE requirement. Students must have 1 period of performing art, and some of the practical arts count as well. And then 8 electives. An elective is any course that you take beyond these specific courses that I just listed with you. Students must have at least a 2.0 GPA. This is not rounded up, so it must be 2.0 or higher. You must have 1 class that is presented through online delivery or that at least has an online component. Students can complete this when they take government econ because there is an online component to those courses. And also students who take driver's ed complete a course on Florida Virtual School at the same time they're taking driver's ed, and that meets the requirement as well. You must pass 2 courses to graduate, 2 tests to graduate, the FSA Reading Language Arts Assessment and the Algebra 1 EOC. You can look in the Focus Student Portal to confirm the courses that you've taken and the courses that you need. If you have questions after you've looked at this, you are welcome to make an appointment for an individual conference. I know in most cases, your counselor has already reached out to you this year to talk about what you need to complete. If you need a meeting about this or anything else that's discussed during senior seminar, you can go to the Class of 2022 group and go to resources and events. In both of those places, the events is the calendar, and if you're looking at the Schoology on the web, in the calendar, there is a link there that says, do you need to speak to a counselor? Please click here. That link is also in resources if you don't see it in the calendar. You will answer a couple of questions and your counselor will get in touch with you to set up a time to meet. To remind you, students with last names A through F and all students who are in AVID, those students are assigned to Ms. Joyner. She's in room 110, and you can request an appointment specifically with her when you're filling out that form. Students with last names G through N and students who are taking college courses are with me, Dr. Heron, in room 104. If you were in early college and AVID, you would actually have that appointment with Ms. Joyner, not with me. And then students with last names O through Z, those students are assigned to Mr. Ramirez. He's in room 106. So please request an appointment if you need to speak to us if you're not clear. As counselors, we have worked really hard to make sure you're in everything you need to graduate. If you think there's something missing or you just want to confirm, get in touch with us and we will certainly work with you on that. Senior year testing. We have 2 opportunities for the English Language Arts retake. That is September. The first session was September and October. It will be given again in February and March. Those are the dates. The Algebra 1 EOC retake, it's already happened once this year in September and October. There will be another one at the end of November and the first part of December, and then another one again in that time period of February through March. Also, those of you who are trying to meet those requirements, there are opportunities for you to take the SAT or the ACT, and those scores are listed there. But to meet the FSA requirement, if you get a 480 on the evidence-based reading and writing section of the SAT, or when you add the reading and English sections of the ACT, if it is 35 or higher, which is an average of 18, that meets that requirement. For Algebra 1 EOC, if you take the PSAT and get a 430 on the math section, or the SAT and get a 420 on the math section, or you can take the ACT and get a 16 on that math section, or if you take the Geometry EOC and are level 3, all of those things also meet the Algebra 1 EOC requirement. Regarding post-secondary preparation, if you need to take other tests, you may need the SAT, you may need the ACT for college admissions. The websites are there, College Board for the SAT, and then some options for test prep. For these tests, it's really important that you spend some time preparing for the test. Khan Academy is a great app or and it also has a website. It does not cost anything, and it's tied directly to the SAT. We also have Study Island and USA Test Prep. For the ACT, there's the website for ACT. If you use a fee waiver when you sign up for the ACT, you get 6 free months of Kaplan Test Prep, which is tied again directly to the ACT, but you can also use Study Island or USA Test Prep. Regarding fee waivers, students qualify for 2 fee waivers for each test. They can be used in 11th or 12th grade. You can see your school counselor for a fee waiver. Those of you who are in the intensive reading classes, some of you have gotten your fee waivers from Coach Gordon. If you are a student athlete and you're going to be playing in the NCAA, you do need to send in the SAT or ACT report to them, and that's their code 9999. Remember that test prep is a marathon, not a sprint. In other words, you need to spend some time, a month or more, before you are actually before the test date to start preparing. Okay, and again, the two best resources we have for Khan Academy. It's free and it helps prepare you for the SAT. The Kaplan Test Prep is helping you a lot with the ACT, and then you also have Study Island and USA Test Prep that's available at school. There are smartphone apps. There are books in the Media Center. There's also additional online prep on the College Board and ACT websites. Please make sure that if you're taking one of these tests, whether it is for college admissions or to get a concordant score for your graduation, do some preparation beforehand. It helps you understand sort of the lay of the land. How is the how is the test laid out? What are the questions like? Because they are very different. Some students are going to do much better on one than the other. And for students who have not passed the FSA, we have had a great success with people who don't pass the FSA, but they're able to pass either the SAT or the ACT. So please don't give up and give it the time that you need to in order to be successful in meeting that graduation requirement. Other tests you might need, if you're going to a technical school, there is a test called the TABE that you will take for technical programs. And also the ASVAB is a test you take if you're interested in going into the military. You can check with your recruiter for opportunities to take the ASVAB. You can also check with Mr. Gilmer. I believe that test will be offered on our campus one day this year. He needs to know if you're interested in taking that test. If you have any questions about this section, you can review this presentation at any time. And also, please contact your counselor if you need help. We are here to help you. Thanks very much. And we are at the end of part